but longevity. This man is in his 40s. I'm breaking down, and I still am not even close to hitting 40 yet.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. We're not worthy.
I said, empty your mind.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
All right, my man, we are in. Go ahead.
And we're back. We're back for another one. They thought they can kill us. They thought they can cancel us, but we are unkillable.
Ooh.
We are Cancel Teachers Talk, and we're talking about another doozy, another great one. Maybe the greatest. Just a little lead into the conversation. This is something that I think many of us have talked about over and over and over and over again. And regardless of how long we spend on this episode, there's going to be some dissension. There's going to be some people at home that don't agree with our picks. So remember, comment, let us know how you feel. If we did anything egregious, you can rip us. That's we love it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is definitely going to be one of those episodes, one of those that we cannot not anger somebody. It just is what it is. That's the name of the game. Today, we're going to do a Rushmore of the greatest athletes of all time. The GOATs, the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the ones on the top. And we can go in a lot of different directions with this. I was going through my research and looking at some of the greatest athletes of all time, and I saw some names that I figured you'd pick. I didn't agree with them, so I took some notes, some counter arguments on some of these people. But when we talk about the greatest athletes of all time, let me ask you, just to start it off, what do you think is important when looking at the greatest athletes of all time before we start picking?
I think it's the unicorn aspect. Something we've never seen, something that blows your mind, something that is beyond parallel. That is what I'm looking for today. I'm not really into accolades. I'm not really into rings or anything like championships. I'm more into, wow, now that was impressive. And that is where I'm going. What about you?
I thought about that too. I don't want to pick a list based on impact or culture or things like that. I don't want to pick a list based on what they meant to the sport. I want to pick a list based on athlete, the greatest athletes, people that are bar none. When you put them against any other person that does something similar to them, how dominant they actually were. That's what I'm looking for. I really just pure athletic ability. That's when I was picking my list, that's the direction I went with.
I'm in. Let's do it. So you got your little wheel of steel?
I usually have it up, but I dropped the ball. I'm kidding. I always have my wheel of names. It's right next to me. Here we go. Red and blue. Red for me, blue for him.
Hit it.
I think I won last week. So are we going to go 2 in a row? It looks like it. I am on fire.
Damn. All right, go ahead.
So,
man, I'm ready to go. So make yours quick.
I'm going to make mine quick because there's really no arguing. For my number 4, I went with the fastest man alive. I went with somebody who is unchallenged in terms of speed, and his name is Usain Bolt.
Usain Lightning Bolt, the precocious youngster, 21 years old, all but begged his coach to let him run on the 100 in addition to the 200, and the result, well, he may be the one to rewrite all the records.
Sir.
And a fair start, a Safa pound. Usain Bolt is also out well. Here they come down the track. Usain Bolt sprinting ahead, winning by daylight. And setting a world record. The wind is okay. New world record. How easy was that?
All right, talk to me.
Usain Bolt has the Olympic record for the 100 and the 200. There was the Olympics where we had the 3 or 4 fastest times in the 100 all in the same run, and he was the one that took home the gold. Talk about pure speed. This is I always thought I think I was in college when Usain Bolt was doing his runs, and
Can't stop, addicted to the shindig. Chopped off, it says I'm gonna win big. Choose not a life of imitation. Distant closer to the reservation. Defunct the pistol that you pay for. This punk the feeling that you stay for. In time I want to be your best friend. Eastside love is living on the west end. Knocked out before you better come to. Don't die, you know the truth is some do. Go write your message on the pavement. Burn so bright I wonder what the wave meant. White heat is
When I first saw him, one of the cool things about him was that I remember when he jumped onto the scene, everybody was saying he's too tall. Like, to be a great sprinter, you got to be 5'10", 5'11", and shorter. So it was kind of like, okay, what are we going to get? And instantly, from the start, he just took over the Olympics, the sprinting game. It brought fame, something we hadn't seen pretty much since Carl Lewis of the late 80s and early 90s. My dad and my mom, they love watching track and field. They watch it all year long as much as possible when it's in season. And the big name right now is Noah Lyles, right? And my dad tells me, why aren't you watching? Like, this guy's so good. It's like, I'll watch, but it's kind of like, man, they're running so hard, they're running so fast, and yet they are still so far behind what Usain Bolt did a decade, almost 15 years earlier. I mean, if you compare the 100 meters of Noah Lyles to Usain Bolt had ran his best 9.58.
yes, and
the closest Lyles has gotten is 9.79.
yes, and that's in the Olympics. His actual Olympic speed is a 9.83. So Lyles is nowhere close. And when we're talking, you talk point 0.02, 0.03. That's a lot in a 100. We're talking
that is a lot.
0.2.
It is a lot.
He's a whole 0.2, 0.2 of a second slower. Actually, the sprinter right now that has my attention is that kid, the 17 to 18-year-old senior that just signed with Maryland.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
To be 17 years old and running against grown men and still holding your own, that's pretty impressive. But I picked Usain Bolt because he went and played soccer for a little bit and didn't embarrass himself. It's just something about an athlete when you can pick up a whole nother sport. I have to respect the Jordans and the Bo Jacksons. And as much as I hate him, you got to respect the Deion Sanderses. When you can pick up a whole nother sport and go do your thing and do it at the highest level, that's pretty impressive to me. So my number 4 was...
I'll say this about Usain Bolt. It never looked like he gave his best. Like, I honestly believe to this day, he could have gotten under 1919 in the 200 or under a 9.58. I honestly think he could have done better. I feel he left a lot out on the track, even on those times that he broke the record. I mean, there's that all-time great relay race where Jamaica and USA on the last leg, they're even. And they both had a clean handoff from the third leg to the fourth leg, and Usain Bolt just took off.
Here, Tom Gavin has done the job down the back stretch.
Here's Tyson Gay for the U.S. Johan Blake for Jamaica. It's the U.S. and Jamaica right together. Here come the anchors. It will be Usain Bolt against Ryan Bailey. And here's Bolt and Bailey side by side through the home straightaway. And Bolt edges ahead. Bolt pulling away across the line. Jamaica, U.S. world record. If you are a fan of the 4x1, you just saw the greatest race in history. And Bolt has now won gold medal number 3 and his 6th in the last 2 Olympic Games.
And it was soul crushing. USA lost. And here's the funny thing. As somebody from the US, like Usain Bolt's character, you loved his flamboyancy. You didn't mind that he beat your country because you knew you were witnessing greatness. And when he would do that whole pointing up to the sky thing, like, the audience loved it. He was a great attraction. I look at his comparing Noah Lyles in the 200, which I remember my dad telling me, oh, he's a better 200-yard sprinter than a 100. And I'm like, I kind of think Bolt was as well. And even then, Bolt is a 19.19 personal best, and Noah Lyles is a 19.31 personal best. I mean, we're talking about way different levels. So I like your number 4. Man.
All right. So who are you going to hit me with for your number 4? Your 4th best athlete of all time.
All right. My 4th best athlete is Mama Wembanyama.
Oh, my God.
Wembanyama just put in his 10th. 12 for Middleton. Wembanyama. Oh, goes back and puts it down.
Are you kidding me? Come on. Unicorn. Stop it. Stop this. Look at this. This is around a guard in Lillard and a finish over a 7-footer. Oh, man. Special talent. A special talent.
In that game in Denver the other night, the Rockets, after a poor first half shooting it, was 14 of 18, including making 6 of their 8 threes. Wembanyama!
Oh, my gosh.
With the ram. Big time thrown out and the foul.
You said when you see Wembanyama play, there's something you've never seen in your life. You're going to see one time, and I mean, oh my goodness, he crams all over LP. Poor LP there, man. He's late, and you can't be late with this guy right here.
That is a big-time throwdown for Victor Wembanyama.
Okay, episode's over.
Yeah, bro.
Why would you do that to me?
Look. If I look online, if I type his name online, here's what it says. It just isn't a rare physical talent. He's one of the most unique basketball players ever, blending size, skill, and IQ in ways the sport has never seen. So look,
you can't read quotes that you wrote.
Look, Victor Wembanyama, the center for my San Antonio Spurs. I'm not just saying that as a Spurs fan. Even if you played for your Lakers, okay, or any other squad, every time I watch him, I see something I've never seen before. The idea that I don't even think he's 7'4". I actually think he's 7'6", 7'7", with the wingspan the size of the equator. The way that and every time I watch him play, I see something I've never seen before. At least twice a game. The idea that this guy is 7'5" and taller, dribbling between the legs, right? Crossing over, popping for 3-pointers, having 4 to 10 blocks a game. I mean, there's highlights I can show you where it's a 4-on-1. And Victor Wembanyama is on the back guarding the rim, and the players will stop and run around the 3-point key to let everybody else come. Like, people are so intimidated to get blocked by this guy. I don't know, dude. I've never seen an athlete being able to run like that, to dribble like that, to pass like that, to shoot like that.
Spurs turn it over. Victor back to defend the rim. And it was 3-on-1, and finally...
He is the full package, probably the pound-for-pound best athlete or best basketball player when it comes to size.
He only weighs
full on the full
He only
package.
weighs 100 pounds. You can't say pound.
And that's the other thing. Even more, because he only weighs 100 pounds, yet he's pushing around centers like Joker, centers, who's the other? Oh, Embiid. Okay. Like these guys are full on 7-foot-pound monsters. And yet they cannot get her. Even Joker has said there's something we can do about that. Giannis, right? Antetokounmpo, right? He has said, like, there's no way that guy is 7'4". That guy is a behemoth of a man. And he's only 21 years old, actually 20 or 21. And he's just a pleasure to watch. I can't remember a player that was so exciting to watch probably since Michael Jordan. I mean, you could say LeBron James and Kobe, but I don't know. There are, I don't know. That's a conversation for another day. But seeing a guy, I've seen players like Kobe. LeBron would probably be the only other spectacle. But seeing a guy at 7'4", weighing 100 pounds, lanky, and just playing like a point guard, that is my number 4. Go ahead.
I will say that his ball handling is surprisingly good for a big man. But we've seen big men. We've seen big men that could shoot.
Go ahead.
We've seen big men that can run. I mean, you got Karl Anthony Towns. He could stretch the floor pretty well. You got Jokic. He could stretch the floor pretty well. But my question is this, and this is the question I keep going back to. Before the modern era of basketball, when big men started stretching the floor, could we have had a Wemby without even knowing it? Because it wasn't big men didn't shoot from the outside until recently. So what about the Wilt Chamberlains and those? Because he was a freak athlete too, but we don't know if he could shoot from the outside. There was no 3-point line, so there was. I mean, he dominated down in the key. But was there a hidden gem somewhere that maybe was Wemby before Wemby? Obviously not 7'9" or whatever he is, but.
I'll say this though. Look, I'm tired of the comparison of like, oh, if Joker or who else, Luka would have been back in the 90s and 80s, they would have killed them because they're better athletes, right? Or there's better. LeBron would have killed in the 80s and 90s. To me, that's a false equivalency, because if you're going to take them back into time, you got to put them in with the workout regimens back then, the diets back then, the weights back then. I don't think they would look like the way they did today back then. So when I look at NBA players, like, to answer your question, when I look at could Wemby have handled back then, we've seen players back in the days. We had Manu Bol, who was 7'8", if I'm not mistaken. We had George Mirasan that was 7'7". We had what's his name, Bradley. I forgot his first name. He was 7. Yeah, Sean Bradley. He was 7 foot. Did he die? I think he just had an accident.
I think he died. Keep going.
Wow. Anyways, we had those guys, but you know what they all had in common? They were flat-footed clunkers. Here is Wemby, who is a master of movement. You know, he studies yoga. He does yoga every day. You saw him over the summer with the monks, you know, doing martial arts. You know, he is an active mover. I do think if he did participate in the 90s, they would have tried to make him a clunker, like a flat-footed, just big body.
Would have.
And I think that would have.
He probably would have gotten beaten down. I would say.
And all those guys were beaten down.
I would say that the 90s was a lot more physical, at least down low. You had to have a little bit of girth, a little bit of size to be able to bang. And I don't think he would have translated very well. But then I also think that, yes, I don't think he could have played defense very well on Shaq. But then the other way around, I don't think Shaq could have played, maybe prime Shaq. But 30-year-old Shaq I don't think he could have kept up with Wemby. With his ball handling skills, his basketball IQ, the fact that he spreads the court. I mean, Shaq has to come out, I think that he could have done okay, but it depends on whether the body holds up, which is the $1 million question with him. He's, like you said, he's young.
I know he's already missed 12 games. So.
Yes, it's just 12 games.
Frustrating. Yeah. All right. So that is my number 4. Hit me with your number 3.
I'm going to go the
ahead.
complete other direction. At 4'8", I'm going to go Simone Biles.
If anyone has unfinished Olympic business, it is Simone Biles.
Definitely a redemption competition for Biles. She's set to prove to herself and the rest of the world that she can perform at a maximum again on the Olympic stage.
Simone Biles needs no introduction.
Brilliant. Double dismount. Makes it look so easy.
Go for it.
Simone Biles, the greatest gymnast in Olympic history. She does things that I don't think any human being could possibly do. She just the explosive power that she has and the skills that she's done. She's doing things that gymnasts have rarely even attempted, let alone landed in the highest level of competition. She's just unmatched in what she could do. And I think she's the most decorated female Olympian of all time, I believe, if I'm correct. And I don't even think she's going to compete in the next one. She's going to ride off into the sunset as the greatest female Olympian ever. And I remember in the last Olympics, my fiance is super into gymnastics because she was a gymnast when she was younger, and we were watching it. They were talking about how in practice she hit some insane move, and they didn't think she was going to do it because it would be crazy to do in a competition, because if you don't land it, you automatically are putting yourself at a disadvantage at the Olympic level.
Right.
And she did it anyways, and she landed it, and they were stunned, and everybody was crazy, and she went on to win gold. But that's the kind of thing. It's like you take that kind of stuff for granted because it's happening in the moment. Like you take Wemby for granted that he's 7'6" and he's doing things that we've never seen a big man do. I might give you a hard time for Wemby, but we've never seen that before. We've never seen a Simone Biles. And now that she's gone, I don't think we're ever going to see something like that again. But that is just my feeling on it. So we're going to go from 7'6" to 4'8".
Here's a cool thing about Biles. She took time off because she kind of had, like, I don't want to say the yips, but she
was disoriented in her twists. I had to sit there and listen to my fiance explain this for hours one day. If she ever watches this, I'm sorry, but she sat there explaining how every rotation of the body has to be timed perfectly, or else if you land wrong, you could severely injure yourself. Break a neck, break a leg, break an arm. And as she was spinning, she would get disoriented, and she just couldn't. I think she actually backed out of one of the Olympics. Was what? 2 Olympics ago, and because she was too afraid to do what she does. And I can't think of another sport. I mean, baseball's kind of that way. If you forget how to throw strikes, you've seen pitchers forget how to throw strikes. That's kind of the equivalent that I can think of. It's like playing football and afraid to get hit.
No. I get it. When I played basketball and I busted my ankle into a million pieces, after I got to rehab and I would try to play again, like I wasn't the same. I had like a mental fear of going into the basket. When he was a junior, he was already my American falling on my ankle again. And I can imagine it was like her time. Well, she went through times like a million. So, I remember growing up in the 90s, we had Carrie Strug, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's her, the way you pronounce the last name. And she was the hero that jumped off and was hurt, and she was like limping. She landed on one foot. And then you compare those great. I remember there was Dominique Dawes that was a part of that gymnastic teams from the '96 Olympic team, and you compare them to today's gymnasts. I mean, it is night and day. I kind of feel like when it comes to sports, the evolution from the '90s to now is superiorly better in this era than it was even 20, 30 years ago. So I think Biles is an amazing pick. I didn't think you were going to go there. I thought you were going to go a different route. But I like your call.
5 skills named after her alone. Things that nobody else has done. That they're like, damn, what we got to call this something now. So yeah, what I'm looking for is dominance, athletic dominance. Athletes that are unmatched in what they do. And when you think about the GOAT, I mean, you could say Usain Bolt's the fastest man alive. That's a title that can never be taken. Simone Biles is the most decorated. She's got 30 medals total. She's the most decorated female Olympian in history. And
I've never seen
unmatched in gymnastics.
I'll probably, maybe Dwight Howard, but Dwight Howard was 6'10". He didn't have the shooting that David Robinson had.
She was my one stretch, I think, because like when I brought up Usain Bolt trying to play soccer, an athlete's an athlete. They go play other sports. They could do a lot of other things, and with her, I think gymnastics is the name of the game, and I don't see her going and doing other stuff after this. So she's just dominant in one sport. Probably the only person that I would say is dominant in the one sport. Of my other 2 picks. Remember that.
Very good. Very good. I love that pick. One of my next pick, he has one of my favorite growth spurt stories. And my number 3 is also a basketball player. And I am going with David Robinson.
That was his 2 of 11. Robinson with the steal. He's got Anderson all the way. What a move by David Robinson. You're shaking your head.
Hey, big guys aren't supposed to do that in the open floor like that. Michael Jordan back, and he picks it up and steps around him. What a tremendous play.
Rodman, big smile on his face as he nods. Here we go. It's Robinson. David Robinson and a foul. Look at Rodman. The odd couple, Rodman and Robinson, but it's worth.
Manning comes out to help on Johnson, leaves Robinson, and David goes to the hole for the slam.
He not only dunked it, but he dunked on 3 guys. Oh, my.
Pretty thorough analysis from Mrs. Robinson. David goes up, draws the foul, gets the backhand. Can you believe that one? I don't believe that basket.
That's an amen.
That's an amen.
That's right.
Back to him. Big cut, Benjamin underneath. Nowhere for the block. Highlight film rejection, David Robinson. And
Now, I know that's 2 Spurs in a row, but in all honesty,
your number 1 is going to be
Wimby is deserving. Look, one of the cool stories I love about David Robinson was that when he was a freshman, he was 5'9". Okay, when he graduated high school, he grew 10 inches to 6'7". Okay, he goes to the Naval Academy as a 6'7" guy, which is tall for somebody in the Navy. But you would have thought that basketball was nowhere near his, trajectory as a pro. Maybe playing in college as a number 1 or 2 guard, which is why he was such a good shooter because, he had to play at a lower size. By his sophomore year, he got to 6'9". His junior year, he got to 6'11". And by the time he graduated, he was 7'1". So he grew roughly 16 inches in about 7 years. So David Robinson is my number 3 because, look, like I kind of said about Wemby earlier, the prototype center for centers back in the late 80s and 90s wasn't a chiseled out freak athlete. It was, a brawn of a man, Moses Malone, Hakeem Olajuwon, even Shaq or Patrick Ewing. They didn't have definition. This guy right here, what made him feared in the league, and don't get it twisted, he didn't have the best pro career. He is a Hall of Famer for sure, probably top 25 player of all time. But what made him feared back then is because they never really seen an athlete at him at center. He could run, he can pass. He was a good shooter even for a lefty. I mean, he could move and spin. I mean, his dunks doing double reverses and windmill dunks. I mean, you never really saw a center do that back at the time. Not to mention, he is one of the great swatters of all time as well. There's plenty of footage where Michael Jordan wanted to personally challenge David Robinson because he was this mountain chiseled freak of a man who can jump out of the building. As
Spurs on an 8-0 run. Cummings almost picks the pocket of Grant. Jordan goes baseline left. Shot partially blocked again by Robinson. That is his third block, and the Spurs will have the ball. How about the block again? Here it comes.
Well, here's Michael. He's taking off, and you see him meeting him right at the top. Beautiful play. Scottie Pippen goes for the save, cannot get it.
Well, and David Robinson just blocking him time and time again. What made him great was his ability to run. He can run and up and down that court. He was never lollygagging behind. He was a true on freak athlete that when you saw him playing, like you couldn't believe that back then a 7 foot, 245 pound man made out of chisel steel was breathtaking within this moment. One of my favorite pictures is him shooting a free throw, like he's setting up as a free throw, and you just see his bicep. Like the bicep was bigger than the basketball. His shoulders were bigger than the basketballs. But I've never seen a chiseled out 7'1" freak of an athlete. So my number 3 is David Robinson. Go ahead.
Now, when you think of athletic looking players, I would say David Robinson definitely is in top 10. I mean, you see some, like you said, chiseled players in every sport, but to be his height is something special. I mean, the biggest complaint that a lot of guys have with players like Wemby and let's say Kevin Durant is how skinny they are. Usually when you have these taller guys, they're stretched out. And even like Yao Ming. I mean, Yao Ming was a little bit thicker, but still it's hard to have a guy that's 7 foot and is athletic. I think you hit it right in the head with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, there's a reason why they nicknamed him Superman. Shaq in his prime was a pretty athletic looking guy, but neither of those guys could run and spread the court like David Robinson. The Admiral is a great pick. I appreciate that pick.
Let me throw out some fun facts. His vertical jump was over 36 inches, which is crazy high for a 7-footer. I mean, most 7-footers, especially at that time, like they were just these flat-footed guys that could barely jump an inch over the rim. I mean, inch over the floor. I don't know, dude. Like, his wingspan was 7'5". His standing reach was 9'7". So he's like 3 inches just from touching the rim without even tiptoeing. So that is my number 3. Go for it. Who is your number 2?
My number 2, and I alluded to this before, somebody who is elite at multiple things. When you talk about an athlete, that's what, to me, an athlete is. Probably a even better looking athlete than David Robinson. But he was elite in 2 separate sports. He was an NFL Pro Bowler and an MLB All-Star. he probably the greatest video game athlete of all time. That is Bo Jackson.
Oh, go for it. Talk to me.
Don't I know you? Nice shoes. Yo, Kansas City one. Are you sure we haven't met before?
Turns the corner and blasts his way to a Raider.
Heisman Memorial Trophy to Bo Jackson.
Jay, that Ronnie Lott is a fine defensive back, one of the hardest hitters in the...
We live in Kansas in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
And then wherever Dad plays.
Mm-hmm.
We just
Gotcha. I used to play for the Kansas City Royals.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah.
I think you just get used to that and you start pacing yourself. That's high. He just may have missed it. I don't know. Bo Jackson back, leaps, and he makes the catch. Field. And there he is, up over the wall to drag down on talent. Orsolak licks that one to left center field. Bo on the charge. Bo is there.
From Morris. Here's one that's hit a mile and a half. Oh, almost out of everything.
Bo Jackson was an NFL Pro Bowler. I heard so much about him growing up. My dad's a Raider fan, and the mythological being that is Bo Jackson. He gifted me the Bo Knows Bo book when I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old. But I remember seeing the highlights of Bo Jackson catching that running down that fly ball and then running horizontal on the outfield wall after making the catch. He was just a freak athlete. He was massive for his size. I'm talking like he was Saquon Barkley big, but just a freak of nature in terms of his coordination and his ability, because football and baseball are completely separate sports. Hand-eye coordination is something on a whole nother level, and the physical prowess that you need to play in the NFL is completely separate from the longevity that you need to have to play Major League Baseball. But he did both at the highest of levels, the elite levels, not just okay. We've seen Tom Brady got drafted in pro baseball. So did Kyler Murray, and you see these two sport athletes all the time that could play baseball and play another sport. Michael Jordan tried to do it. He hit 200, and that's pretty dang good. We've had that conversation. To hit 200 and not having hit a baseball in however long Jordan hadn't hit a baseball was pretty good in my opinion. But this is Bo Jackson, who made the All-Star team in Major League Baseball. So we're talking the best of the best.
Right.
You've told me that one of your holy grail baseball cards is that Bo Jackson card where he's holding the bat. And
yes.
So,
right.
I mean, I don't need to speak too much on and ask you too much about how you feel about Bo Jackson. We could show you highlight after highlight of the kind of stuff this man did. But when you talk about somebody who is a pure athlete, Bo
right.
Jackson was one of the first people I thought of. It just came down to where I put him on my list and whether you stole him or not.
Bo Jackson, look, he's probably everybody's number one or number two. Now, I consider myself lucky. You and I did an episode a couple of episodes back about the 90s being the greatest decade of all time, and we compared it to the 80s and other decades. I feel privileged to have been a coherent teen going through this era, not just for sports, but with music and movies and just culture in general in the 90s was unbelievable. And one of the main things that I remember my friends and we would do is my baseball buddies back then. We would go to the corner store. We would walk over there to the corner store. Yes, this is when kids can walk across town by themselves at the age of 10 or 11 or whatever. and we would go to the corner store and look for baseball cards to buy. And I remember the hack was you don't buy the deck on top. You get the deck that's on the bottom of the box. That was the hack. And we were always looking for either Ken Griffey Jr., Barry Bonds, Nolan Ryan, and most importantly, it was always Bo Jackson. That was the card you wanted. And dude, I got it, and I didn't look at that card again till literally almost 30 years later. And he is a mythic figure. He is the ultimate what if when it comes to sports and being the greatest athlete of all time. He was a Heisman Trophy running back in Auburn University. When he splashed on with the Raiders, I remember watching those games. You felt like the home run was going to happen. When he played baseball, that awesome moment when he was in the All-Star game leading off. Imagine your leadoff hitter is a man that is 6'2", 6'1", 6'2", weighs 245 pounds of steel. That is your leadoff hitter. Imagine that. You're a baseball guy too, so you would think that's kind of off. But I remember that moment where he calls time and the pitcher throws it anyways, and he collects himself and hits the home run dead center in the All-Star game.
And as Bo Jackson comes up, we talked about Ozzie Smith and you wearing a Cardinal uniform. And Jackson wears baseball and football, and you did football.
Yes, I played the Gipper, but I also played for real in a much earlier time. But that Bo down there, that's a pretty interesting hobby he has for his vacation. When baseball ends, he winds up playing football. I don't know if there's ever been anyone doing it.
Hey. He's remarkable, and look at that one. Bo Jackson says hello. And Rick Rushell is greeted on the first pitch to Bo Jackson. He almost hit it out of state.
That's going to set it up pretty interesting for him to the end of this season when he goes back to the Los Angeles Raiders.
Watch this again, sir.
I mean, this guy, his speed running over the fence. I mean, he is a mythic figure, a living mythic figure that we know of, whoever probably ever existed. So I like your number 3.
That's my number 2.
Oh, number 2. My bad.
You get 2 more. I got 1.
All right. So mine is also from that era. He is. They even did a cartoon together. It was with Bo Jackson, Wayne Gretzky. Who else was in it? I think I want to say Carl Lewis, and also my number 2, Michael Jeffrey Jordan.
I knew he'd be a great player, but I never thought that he would turn out to be the greatest player of all time. He's something special.
I said to so many people that we're fortunate in our lifetime to have seen a Michael Jordan.
Michael feels that he can do whatever he wants, and you're in some sort of a different zone when you're out there.
I'm not sure people really know how good this guy is. This guy's the best defensive player in the league. He's the best offensive player, and he's the best competitor. If there is a better player that's ever going to play this game, we're all going to be scratching our head.
He's a warrior. He's competitive. There's just nobody like him.
Michael Jordan does the things that we all just dream about.
Well, he's the best post-up player in the NBA. I mean, there's no question about that.
Michael shakes the finger, but he finally got his dump on Mount Matumbo.
Here comes Michael Jordan on the drive, 5 seconds. Jordan on the drive, right of the lane, 18-footer. Yeah! Now the clock is running down. 3. Jordan for 3.
Michael challenges and squares.
One of the greatest of all time.
Thank you for this being Michael Jordan.
Dishes to Michael.
To Jordan and the foul. Yes, 3 seconds. Jordan's force-up shot to the left.
Oh, yes!
Win. Michael Jordan saves the day.
Fix. Oh, spins the auto by MJ.
Steele, he kept it in bounds. Here it is again.
Throws it back to Michael Carter, one hand for 50 off the board.
There's Jordan, a three, yes! Did you see that look? Michael indicating he can't believe.
Now, the reason why I'm going to say Michael Jordan, if I'm not mistaken, he got timed in college. He ran a supposed 4.3 or 4.4 40 as a guy who is 6'6". Okay. One thing that I always loved about him when it came to his game of basketball was his first step. Probably the quickest first step in basketball history. I'm not just talking about the NBA. His ability to take that step left or right is unmatched. And I think what really separated him. What is so versatile about him? He had 48-inch max vertical. Standing still, his vertical was 36 inches. So he could jump taller standing still than David Robinson could. What I loved about him as well is that once, he never missed any games really. And when he was getting beaten up in the late 80s against the Pistons, the Pistons had the Jordan rules where if he comes inside, you just lay him down. He would keep on getting back up. And even then, you could see the potential that this guy is going to be probably the greatest of all time. But what does he do? He enhances his body. He gets stronger. He gets physically more dominating. What made him hard to guard was that he was kind of like a center playing point guard, and these guards that were guarding him, they just had no explanation for they couldn't defend his moves. Whether it was a fadeaway going left or right, his pivot game was unbelievable. He would average 38 to 40 minutes a night. Let's see. And the one thing that makes him number 2 for me, and you're going to laugh at me because we've had this conversation, I actually appreciate his batting average when he went to go play for the minor leagues.
I said
baseball.
first, I think he hit 208, and 208 in professional baseball is nothing to laugh at. I know 208 is garbage in terms of what you expect from a professional baseball player, but we're talking a grown man that hadn't played baseball in a decade, only picked it up on a whim.
Longer.
And there are plenty of baseball players every year that hit under 200 and get paid millions of dollars. We're talking a guy that just decided to pick up the game and go and do better than people that have played their whole life. If they're the master of their craft, and yet he went out there and did better than these guys. I respect that more than I could possibly say. I said it when I brought him up earlier. That is something that if you had made him your number 2, he definitely was at least going to be one of my honorable mentions, just because of the baseball aspect of it.
And look, he played in 127 games. He batted 202. He has 17 doubles. He only played 127 games for the Birmingham Barons back in 94. The last time he played was, I think he was 16 or 17 in high school. And he goes to picking up a bat. And that next summer, look, I was watching the World Series a couple of weeks ago, and I was seeing batters on the bottom of the lineup batting 194 or 201 or 213. And these are guys that have been playing their entire life, all day, every day. Here comes Jordan, like he owns the place, because he kind of did, in 127 games, batting over 202 as for the first time picking up a bat in close to 15 years. So I had to put him on there because one other thing that impressed me is that in that time he stole 30 bases.
Yeah, he had to get on
that
30
shows
times.
his versatility. Yeah, so he at least got on base 30 times, whether it's with a hit or a walk. I mean, having a 6'6" strike zone, that's kind of
detrimental.
That would be kind of tough for a pitcher. Yeah. So people poo-poo his baseball career, but to me, I think it's beyond what's the word I can say? He went well above average for somebody that hadn't played baseball in 17 years. He was pretty much going on what he knows and his athletic ability to be that good of a player. So let me ask you this. If he did the Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, do you think he could have been an all-star player? I'm not saying a Hall of Fame player, but maybe an all-star player? Like he played in the off-season baseball?
I'd have to look to see how good the White Sox were during those years because every team gets an all-star. Every team gets one representative. I know they had Frank Thomas. So
yeah, they had Frank Thomas. They had Harold Baines.
So
they had also a Hall of Famer.
So maybe
Jim Tomei a little bit
maybe
later.
Not. I would say that Mike Trout was hitting like 215, 220 all year last year, and he's going to be a Hall of Famer. We're talking. So I think because of his name, he might have had a leg up in terms of not Hall of Fame, All-Star appearance ability.
Yeah, because it is also about votes.
Yeah,
right?
because there's votes. I think he may have just for shits and giggles, but I don't think he would have been worthy of an All-Star.
Yeah,
but
all right. So that is my number 2.
And I know we're gonna.
What is your number 1?
So many people off right now.
Yeah, you're
my number 1, which I'll take all the fire in the world. This man just picked Michael Jordan as his number 2. My number 1, greatest athlete of all time, King James.
Takes it away. Chalmers. Oh, James! Whoa!
Mine's been racing so long. Yeah, it's just no way to deal. LeBron. And I really get taken. Makes it in. Temptation's my lord. I'm making them business. And I really can't help it. 16 seconds. Try to do it. I said, look, you help me. 3 on 2. Now everybody got the drive. Oh, James, I really coming for the bottom. Chugging in my mama on the last dollar. Hustling, man, I've been putting in these hours.
Oh, my God.
LeBron.
All right, go ahead.
LeBron James.
LeBron Blaine
is my greatest athlete of all time. No athlete in history has combined the size, speed, strength, agility, stamina, and coordination like LeBron James. LeBron James, I think it's the longevity factor. We've seen greatness. I just talked about Bo Jackson, my number 2. I mean, Bo Jackson, in my mind, probably was a better athlete than LeBron James. But longevity, this man is in his 40s. I'm breaking down, and I still am not even close to hitting 40 yet. And the fact that he is still competing in the NBA and averaging, like last season, when he averaged 25 points a game, I mean, there's guys that would kill to just score 25 points in an NBA game one time, and he's averaging, and he's 40 plus years old. He plays smaller than his size. You talked about Wemby being able to stretch the court. This is the ultimate stretching the court. He ran the 1 so many times in crunch time situations, regardless of what I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to get into a debate on whether or not he was good in crunch time situations. But a lot of those teams, if you wanted the ball in the hands of one of your players, LeBron James was usually the guy for the Heat, for the Cavaliers, for the Lakers until recently. Like, he plays like a guard, but he's basically a power forward. He's 240, 250 pounds. He's 6'8", and he moves with accelerations and speed and quickness that you don't see in guys that size. I've seen videos of him in high school playing football, and he was a hell of a tight end in high school. And I'm not saying he would have been an NFL tight end, because that's stretching it a little bit, but he was definitely capable of playing college football if he wanted to. I mean, he's played every position on the basketball court: power forward, small forward, point guard. He stretched it and played. If they were playing small ball, he definitely played the 5. Especially, I think the Heat. The Heat had Chris Bosh, and I remember he was out. Remember, he had the blood clot thing, and they stretched LeBron to the 5. So he definitely could play the 5. And then you throw in just his pure athletic ability and his strength. I think the only athlete that I can think of that did all those things was Bo Jackson. But Bo Jackson got hurt, like you said, biggest what if ever. Shaq lacked stamina. Usain Bolt lacked strength. Mike Tyson lacked height. Dion, no power. Wilt, no agility. Giannis can't shoot. Bo Jackson lacked longevity. Jordan retired, he was 36, 38. So, and by the time he retired, he was a shell of his former self. Like, he was only with the Wizards. Yeah. We wish we could forget about the Wizard era of Jordan. He athletically, I challenge you to find a weakness in LeBron James. Just athletically. I mean, there's no.
Look. No, go ahead.
No,
sorry.
Go ahead. I challenged you.
Look.
I want to hear your words.
Nobody hates LeBron James on earth than I do. As a matter of fact, I call him LeBron Blames, because he blames everybody but himself. Kind of like our president. That's a conversation for another day. Look, but one thing I will not argue against is his athletic ability. You are right. Being 6'9", weighing 240 to 50 pounds, and just being able to move down the NBA court like a freight train and fly to the sky and slam the ball with complete, sheer, utter domination is a spectacle within himself. I would say, after Wemby being a spectacle of something we've never seen, LeBron James is that guy of, we never seen a player with that physical stature, even being that cut as an athlete, dominate the court like he did. Now, so I agree with you. When it comes down to physicalness, his endurance, I mean, he's already, in his 22nd year already? He's probably going to play another 2 more years, even though I kind of feel like he's the old man at the party right now. He is doing great. Like, before you and I got on to do this episode, I was watching the Lakers take on my Spurs for the that stupid the quarterfinal cup thing that they do now. And, dude, he's still doing it. It's freaking impressive. Like, what he has done to change the sports in the terms of health is beyond admirable. People are taking his blueprint and they want to replicate it. But I honestly think LeBron James is a diamond in the rough where we will never see that kind of peak endurance or longevity ever again, maybe for a very long time. I hope Wemby gets it, but it's not looking too good. Usually tall guys only last 5 to 10 years, 12 years tops, you know? So, but he defied it. He is fighting Father Time better than I have ever seen in any sport of any athlete of all time. The fact that he's still, I mean, they made a big deal last week because for the first time since he was a rookie, I think, he had less than 10 points.
Yeah, the greatest.
I mean, that is beyond spectacular.
Like 1,800 games.
Yeah, so that goes to show you not only his physical capabilities, but his mental focus, his mental capacity to even want to get up and play every single day. That takes a lot. I will take credit on one thing. His physical trainer actually went to the same college as I did. He is from where I'm from, in the lower South Texas part of the valley. So I like your number one, my man.
So now you got to hit me.
Okay.
Better than Jordan, better than LeBron. Who is the number one?
The most freakish athlete. And you, by me saying this name, we left off two obvious people. We're probably going to spend another 30 minutes talking about why we left them off. But I'm doing this for my father. He's my dad's, one of my dad's all-time favorite. No, not Bronny. It is Ohtani.
Oh man, where's it?
No, I'm joking. It's not Ohtani.
Oh,
it's not Ohtani.
I can't. I put away my.
No, I'm joking. He is top 10 though. He's getting to our top. He's getting there. Maybe when it's all said and done, Ohtani will be on the list. But no, my number one is Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, see, I brought him up too.
Some of the statistics about you as an athlete, all-around athlete, that people don't notice about whether a shot-putting champion, undefeated for long periods of time.
I saw him put the shot over 50 feet.
He threw the shot 56 feet. Skip, Wilt, he triple jumped 50 feet, and he won the Big 8 high jump 3 straight years.
The rumor got out and scared the daylights out of everybody in the country. A 50-inch vertical jump.
I'm getting 50 inches off of the ground on a vertical.
And I give you 7-1 Wilt going over the high jump bar. That is pretty impressive to get that kind of lift.
That kind of size.
Not that easy.
We know what high jumpers look like, Skip. They're thin. They barely weigh 200. They weigh 200 pounds.
Wilt also ran the 200.
Yeah.
You know, like he could sustain it for distance.
Yeah.
I saw Wilt Chamberlain run under 2 minutes in the 880 yards.
I know you did a 4.4 and a 40-yard dash.
What would you do the 100 in? Under 10 seconds? No, the 100-yard dash, 9.96, 9.5 100-yard dash, 100 meters, around 10.2 and in that area. And have you been clocked at this, or are you just dreaming? I've been clocked. This is not all just imagination.
Yes, that's right. What was exciting for me as a kid at 13, 14 years old was to come to his house and see him pick up 350 pounds in a week.
I saw him pick up 500 pounds. I almost dropped off the roof watching a guy pick up 500 pounds.
Retired in 73, time and again Wilt is asked to return to the arena, to once again do battle on the board. And even today, no one questions his condition. Is the time right for the Great Dipper's return?
Someone said, you know, I think he still thinks that he could play.
Well, I'll tell you what, up until about 1989, there were owners out there who thought I still could.
Wilt Chamberlain was another one that I met and trained with.
You trained with Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah, we eventually ended up in a movie together.
When you made the movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, they were in a weight room. And Wilt says, well, how do you do that? And Arnold goes, well, this is the way you do it. You know, you push up. So Wilt lays down on the bench, gets up under it. Bing, 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 bing. Because Schwarzenegger never came into the weight room with Wilt again.
It's been really sort of a wonder to me that people would want an old 52 or 53-year-old guy out there on the courts. So, I mean, it's quite a compliment to me. It really, really is. But I think the statement is being made there that, you know, I can maybe still help teams.
He is all you see, forever, in the spotlight.
Not to demean the players of the day, I think that Wilt Chamberlain could probably go out and be a leading rebounder.
Rebounder.
Yeah, rebounder, right. Which is a part of the game.
Yeah,
you got to have the ball to win.
That's right.
Do you think, in a limited role, and this was talked about not too long ago, that you could come back and compete and contribute in today's NBA?
I'm still very active in sports. Yes, I can come back in a limited role. Yes, I really, really could. Let's start another rumor. Maybe I should. Maybe I should come back.
You know, to this day when I'm around him, I just can't believe the size of the man. He's 60 years old, and he looks like he still could play basketball.
Could you, if Luke Longley went down tomorrow, the center of the Bulls, how many minutes a game could you play? First of all, why wait till Luke Longley go down?
Let's see.
Yeah, you did. I was like, oh man, I hope it's not number one for him. Look, 7'1" super athlete. Weigh 250 to 300 pounds. If you see that old footage of him when he was a player playing against those plumbers of back in the day, yes, I will say plumbers. Yeah, it is night and day, the physical. No wonder he averaged close to, I think, over 50 points a game his rookie season. But look, he had a 40 to 48 inch vertical. He literally could touch the top of the backboard, which is over 13 feet. I mean, if you put a quarter to the top of the backboard, he would jump up, not only get the quarter, but he would come down with 2 dimes and a nickel, my man. That's how athletic he was. He could make change up there. He would block free throw line jump shots. He was above the rim. He ran the 100 yards in a 10.9. Imagine a 7'1" guy running in a 10.9. He ran 440-yard quarter mile in 49 seconds. He ran the mile in under 5 minutes. He could bench over 500 pounds. He regularly bench pressed over 450. He would max out at 450 and do multiple reps at a time. He could curl 100-pound dumbbells. Supposedly, he picked up Arnold Schwarzenegger with one arm in a photo shoot. I mean, it shows you how elite and peak of a physical athlete he was. He even played he was even in track and field in college at the University of Kansas. His high jump was 6'6". He did the shot put. He did the long jump. He did the triple jump. When he retired, he became a professional volleyball player, and he was not there as a mascot. He was actually a starting, fully functional, perennial athlete as a volleyball player. And this is a guy at 7 feet tall. And let's not poo-poo his probably most impressive stat.
100 points in a game?
Not 100 points in a game, nope. The idea that after games, yes, that he slept with 10,000. You know how much kind of endurance, what kind of athlete you have to be to pull something off like that? And after games, after just waking up, I mean, his physical capacity was there, obviously, and his mental capacity was beyond anything we've ever seen. So my number one is Wilt, the stick man in the bedroom, Chamberlain.
So I love the pick. I had him on my list. Now I weeded him out. I crossed him out because a lot of the things that Wilt Chamberlain did has now been passed down through word of mouth. I mean, the biggest complaint is that we don't have any footage of the 100-point game. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but when we can't see it and all we know are the stories, he's almost like more myth than actual athlete. But I mean, I'm never gonna fault you for picking a Laker. So
he was also a Sixer for a long time. I think he went to the Hall of Fame as a Sixer, didn't he? But look, let me show you some of his crazy NBA stats.
He probably has the craziest NBA stat line ever. When you average 50 points in a season, which has never been touched, you score 100 points in a game. That's like NBA 2K numbers. That's video game numbers.
He averaged 50.4 points per game for a season. I mean, there's nobody will touch that record.
Clock.
I used to think that Pistol Pete, college points per game. Yeah, that was yeah. So defenses could have held him out. He averaged 48.5 minutes per game. He played every minute of every game, including overtime. He had 55 rebounds in one game against Bill Russell. His career scoring average was 30.1. Career rebounds, the most in NBA history, 23,924. He had 7 scoring titles, 11 rebounding titles, 9 field goal percentages because he didn't really have to jump to lay it in. Yeah, pretty much. It's like Wemby is freaking crazy. But yeah, that is my number one. So any last thoughts on that?
I like Wilt. I can't argue that one. I think our two lists were pretty good. I didn't think we'd go the same direction. I thought I was going to be the more grounded one of the two of us, but I think we thought along the same lines. We're talking about athleticism, just straight athletes. And I wasn't looking for rings. We don't have a Brady on here. I mean, we did go Jordan and LeBron, and they got plenty of hardware. But when you talk about athletes, greatest athletes of all time, I want dominance. Wilt Chamberlain is dominance. Right. Michael Jordan is dominance. As much love or hate LeBron James, dominance. Most points in NBA history. He's got the rings. You expect him to perform. Then you got people like David Robinson, Wemby. Athletically, they are gifted. They're like aliens. And then I think our lists are very good, very well rounded, and I challenge people to bring us better athletes. Some of my honorable mentions.
So are we gonna? Yeah, go ahead.
I got Jackie Robinson, who.
So.
Go ahead.
Okay, Jackie Robinson's good. I love that. Great. I had him on my list as well.
I had to pick a UCLA guy.
Played football.
I had to pick UCLA guy. He was a 4-sport athlete at UCLA. He ran track. He played football. He played baseball. He was just an all-around great athlete. Played basketball. Obviously, he went professional, but we're talking African American in a time when it wasn't good to be an African American in athletics. But I had Jackie Robinson as an honorable mention. I wrote Jordan down because, like the baseball thing, if we didn't pick Jordan because for whatever reason neither of us picked Jordan, I was going to throw out the Jordan in the baseball. And then
let me ask you. Okay, go last
one more because I don't know if you have him on your honorable mention, but Muhammad Ali. Did you not pick? He's on the wall behind you.
I know he's right behind me. Yeah, I know, right? Look, are we going to talk about the two elephants in the room? Because when people have greatest athlete conversation in a bar, these two people are always talked about. At least one of them always is. And the other one is not because she is a female, and that is Serena Williams. Or even, probably the biggest elephant in the room, I know you hate him with all your guts, Deion Sanders.
Because
that is the comparison.
In my mind, Bo Jackson was better than Deion Sanders.
No, I don't think so. You got to realize, Deion Sanders, bro, he played for the Braves, he played for the Yankees, he had a pretty great career. Dude, when the Braves played against the Yankees in the World Series and they lost, if the Braves would have won that series, he probably would have been the MVP of that World Series. I mean, he was stealing home. He was coming. He was a left-handed left-hand hitter. I mean, he probably would have been MVP of that World Series if they would have won, and the pictures would have lived up to who they would eventually become. They were a little too young at that time, but Deion Sanders, he's also known for playing 2 games in one day, playing a baseball game, then going straight to the football game, or the other way around. I mean, there's talk of him running a sub 4.40 in the 40-yard dash. I mean, he, along with Bo Jackson, they are mythic figures. Eventually, because when he joined the Cowboys, Jerry Jones was like, if you want me to pay you like a superstar that you are, you got to drop baseball.
Well,
and they paid him enough for him to drop baseball.
Looking at
and he became a football player full time.
Looking at the stats, the biggest stat that jumps off of Deion Sanders' stat line is stolen bases, and he didn't even steal that many bases. Yeah. He only broke 30 stolen bases once, but he led Major League Baseball in caught stealing that year. So he stole 38 bases, but got caught stealing 16 times. Bo Jackson hit 32 home runs one year and stole more bases over his short amount of time than Deion.
In the 92 World Series, Deion Sanders was not even good. He was insanely good. His batting average was .533. He was 8 of 15. His on base was .588. His slugging was .667, and he was a leadoff hitter. His OPS was 1.255. He had 4 runs, 5 stolen bases. He led both teams in batting average and was arguably the best player in the entire series.
Up the middle of him. Lemke will continue on toward third and get there without a throw. Deion Sanders continues to be a major player in the 1992 World Series. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Now 9 for 14 lifetime against David Cohn.
This is only his 4th start, and he's been on base 10 times. This ball right back under the glove of David Cohn, and we mentioned that Alomar, at the top of your screen there, playing him to pull. Lemke moving to third easily.
So, he deserves to be on the list. I was being facetious a little bit, putting my Spurs in there, even though I do believe they belong in my Mount Rushmore. We're just talking about athletes. Deion Sanders, I know you have beef with him, but kind of like the way I have beef with LeBron, he should have been on both of our lists. So in a way, I kind of made this list in spite of Bo Jackson, in spite of Deion Sanders, because they are definitely 1 and 2 in my book.
Well. I disagree. But Venus
the comments
Williams,
should be fun on this
did
one.
have her on the list. I feel like women get a bad shake when we talk about greatest athletes of all time. But Venus Williams definitely, she dominated her sport. And I don't think we'll...
Serena?
Well, both the Williams sisters. We will not see a force in the female tennis world like the Williams sisters. I feel like male tennis is going to be a revolving door. Who's going to be the next big name? But anybody who steps up as a female tennis player is just going to be a shadow of the Williams sisters. So I do agree that they at least need to get some kind of honorable mention. Michael Phelps.
Phelps, yeah. I would say that when you said she is my number 3, I was like, oh, okay, good. He's going to pick Serena Williams.
No.
But, Simone Biles, I mean, you can't argue. I mean, that's cool. I'm cool with that list.
I just can't think of any other females that I would want to shout out in terms of just athletically dominant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we've hit all.
There is FloJo. I mean, if you want to believe that she wasn't on roids, her records, bro, in the 100 and everything else, that was in the late 80s. They're still there. Nobody comes close to her records in women's track and field. But she died prematurely. Some might say there was some, I don't want to put a bad spin on her name, but only 20 people watch our episode, so who gives a shit. All it takes is one episode to blow up. And, but, I mean, FloJo could have been there. I think Serena definitely. So I apologize. That's probably where we'll get the most scrutiny. Deion and Serena Williams not being on that list. So we'll end it at that. Remember, guys, to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Leave a comment. We will respond ASAP. Every new episode every Monday. So keep an eye on that. You have any final words, my man?
Yes. I'm bringing a great athlete into this world sometime in the next couple of days. So for those of you at home, that's why we switched to the every Monday, just trying to be open. So I do hope we get back to the 2 a week. But until then, we're working on a little something to pass the time. Yes, this token, if you want to see something, if you want us to do something, if there's a topic that you think we should talk about, drop it in the comments.
Yeah. All right. And go ahead and say it.
If we're not back in 5 minutes.
Just wait longer.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. We're not worthy.
I said, empty your mind.
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.